When I first read the words years prior in the Zodiac's 1966 confession letter, I realized in a nanosecond that the photos in this collection were not merely photos of hippie chicks at the beach taken by some older perv, but were instead possibly the stalking photo archives of the Zodiac, because he just admitted in this 1966 confession letter to having stalked Cheri Jo Bates for years before murdering her. So immediately I began to search through the collection, and quickly I found a possible image of Cheri Jo Bates. The first image found was dated 1963, and walking with Cheri Jo was her mom, Irene Carol Levitt Bates. The location noted was Lake Anza, which is in Tilden Park, Berkeley. In this photo, there can be seen Cheri Jo and Irene walking towards the parking lot, attempting to get away from the photographer, who is following close behind when he snapped this photo. Cheri Jo is 15 years old in this photo, and her distinctive round bouffant is very evident. Since I discovered this first photo of possibly Cheri Jo, I figured maybe there were more photos of her to be found. The next day, I found a second image of the same two people, dated 1966, and the location noted was Lake Temescal, Oakland. When I discovered the second image of Cheri Jo Bates, this is when I realized the photographer was in fact the Zodiac. The second photo was taken secretly from a low angle just after Cheri Jo and her mom had passed by. In this photo, Cheri Jo is now 18 years old and has her blonde hair pulled up by a topper, also known as a wiglet, to give the appearance of having more hair. Finally, a third photo was discovered of Cheri Jo Bates, this time standing around with some of her friends. This image dates from 1966, with the location noted as Lake Temescal. One important observation to be made in regard to this side profile image of Cheri Jo Bates is that she is carrying the same striped beach bag as was found at the scene of the crime, October 31st, 1966. This image was again taken secretly from a low, distant vantage point. Cheri Jo was known to have traveled from Riverside to the San Francisco Bay Area, where her dad lived, the week before and the month before she was murdered.